you're going to never. That's like when the girl says.
Because if you don't want to hear it, you don't want to hear it.
But they might. I just asked you, can you process?
I can process it. I don't
let me speak. The fact that you wanted to have this conversation is something in there.
No, but I wanted to have the conversation because
festering.
I've heard it so many times. And because of my example, I don't want others to have to go through what I went.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the She Say, He Say podcast. As usual, we got another good one for y'all today. But before we start, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share with your friends, man. But I'm here as usual with my sister, Brandy Banks.
Hi, guys.
And today we are talking about
family conflict.
I ain't got no beef with nobody, y'all. I promise you I ain't got no beef with nobody. But yeah, she got some beef, so we gonna talk about it.
Who said I had beef?
You said you wanted to talk about family conflict.
I didn't say that. I don't mean I have beef.
So let me tell you. Let me tell you how this works. I come in, I set up everything, I sit down and be like, yo, what we talking about? She tell me what she want to talk about. I be like, yo, you sure? She say, yeah, and that's what it is. So who sound like who got beef?
I ain't got no beef.
All right, so go ahead. Let's start us off.
So I feel like I have, dealt with family conflict a lot. And that's just the personality that I have. A lot of people can't handle my personality. They can't handle me. Sometimes I can't handle them. And I'm true to who I am, and I ain't backing down from it. But I think it's different when you have conflict on the street because you can cut off people on the street easily, whereas though your family is your family.
You can cut your family off.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you should not. And it's harder because as our family, we're such a big family and we're such a very close family. Like there are aunts who are actually cousins and there are uncles that are actually cousins that we have that are just like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're close.
So what's your problem? It sounds like, I ain't heard none of this, but it sounds like you might have a problem.
I don't have a problem.
And there's your problem.
No.
That's just my opinion, bro.
No, I don't have a problem. I know I used to let a lot of things affect me, right? So growing up, dealing with different people in our family, it was a lot of, I'm not going to say envious or jealousy. I can't say that because I don't know. But it was a lot of negativity towards my way, right? It was always, you're too tall, your hair's too long, you're, this, that, and the third. Like I went through all of that. Thank God I don't have no sisters. So I went through all of that. And it made me self-conscious about myself. But I was always trying to fit in with them, right? Y'all always fit in with them. But I never fit in with them, ever. Even when I thought I was never fitting in. Because we weren't the same people. Like, what they liked and what they did was not my thing. I tried it. It just wasn't my thing.
But do you ever think, because sometimes I feel like I go through this, like I just started, I would say, a new job or whatever, and it is based on the content that I make. But the content that I make within the company that I work for, no one makes the content that I make. So a lot of times I'm looking around like, dang, do I fit in here? Like, man, like, do they think like I'm an outcast or whatever? But at the end of the day, and I look at my numbers and when they come back and I look at the response that I get when the content actually comes out, there's nothing wrong with me. But I kind of sabotage what I was kind of like sabotaging myself, putting it in my mind that, yeah, because I'm different, everybody looks at me different. So that's what I'm saying. So
for me, I was different. And until I got to a place where I could, I understood that I was different, that I accepted that I was different, that I was at peace with my difference, that's when it became like, okay, you know what? Yeah, we family. Yeah, we grew up like.
My question is it possible that back then there wasn't really an issue? You was just kind of sabotaging the situation.
No, it was an issue because if I love you, I'm never going to be like, Andrew, your skin too dark. Andrew, your hair too long. Like, I would never make you feel all the time.
That was the when you go to school. Like, that happens all the time.
But not with my family, though.
They young. They regular people. Like, they're the same.
But still, they look like dirtbags, too, when they grew up. Like, you know what I'm saying? not dirtbags.
I was about to say.
We weren't. Yeah.
Nah, we wasn't. None of us was walking around
Exactly.
like.
But to make somebody else feel like that, to make somebody else, or always having somebody else the butt of the joke, like you have to know you're actually hurting this person.
When you are a child, when you are in school, I'm not saying that it's right, but what I'm saying is, if that is who somebody was at that age, whether they was in school or they was with family, when they're around people their age, that's how they gonna act.
Okay, so fast forward. Let's move forward to previous things. Like now we grown, right? Mm-hmm. But you still have those negative thoughts or those negative things that come out, and it's just like, dude, we grown.
Okay, so
you know what I'm saying? So for me, instead of dwelling on it, and I've gotten to a place where I have really had to rebuild my confidence and really rebuild who I was. I had to go find out who I was. Mm-hmm. Right? So
did you find out who you was?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And I love it. I love who I am. I mean, I know I can be a bit much at times, but I know who I am and I love who I am. Now everybody you don't have to love me. You don't have to like me.
But so this is what I'm saying. All of the things that you are saying, I feel like if you put that into action, the relationship doesn't have to be.
So I tried to put it in action. I tried to get, because my thing is, so for us, everybody knows, like, well, not everybody, you all don't know, but we do a cousins night, right? And mm-hmm. for me, cousins night was to say, because we have gone through trauma, right? I've gone through a divorce. Our cousins have lost, we lost our aunt, and, two of our cousins are without a mom. But they, now we lost another aunt, so there's another cousin without a mom. Like, for me, we tend to come together when it's traumatic, right? When it's like, okay, I know how you feeling. I've been there. Let me help you with that. I wanted to get to a place that's why Cousins Night was important to me, is because I want to connect with you, not on a traumatic level. I want to connect with you out of love. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to pick up the phone and be like, Drew, what's up? What you doing today? You know what I'm saying? I think for us, because we're such a big family and because our cousins, we all grew up together, I think it was a big deal for us to, like, connect. Like, okay, for instance, we had one cousin who, she had gotten pregnant. I was a teen mom, right? Borderline. I was 19. So borderline teen mom, had a cousin who got pregnant, tried to, just say, hey, I wasn't being negative. I was just saying, hey, I've been here before. You're pregnant. That it is what it is. But don't rely on that man for everything, right? Get your own. Mm-hmm. Do your own thing, because you ain't guaranteed. He's not guaranteed to be there. That's just reality. Mm-hmm. She got mad about it.
So I go back to my previous statement. Is it possible, not that you are the problem, but is it possible that there is miscommunication, and instead of, like I've said this before, and I'm starting to hone in on the problem here, that people hear things differently. People receive things differently. And it sounds like it's not necessarily your way, but you aren't either able or you don't want to see that you wholeheartedly was trying to help that person. That person didn't receive what you did or received your help the way you wanted them to receive your help. So then it was like, now it's a war, or we upset, or it's a whatever's going on. Instead of, all right, that person might be going through this. This might have been a bad day.
Yeah, I was with that. I mean, I'm not the one who was like, yo, I'm out. Like, I didn't say that. I just said that I will never insert myself like that before, like that again.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Now you're going to never. That's like when the girl says...
Because if you don't want to hear it, you don't want to hear it.
But they might not have wanted to hear it that day.
Well, but, okay, so
they might not have been able
particular
to
instance, that grew into something else, right?
So, okay, so it grew into something else. Why? That probably could have been prevented.
How?
If the two
of you... They chose a side.
Right, in that moment. Right?
No, after that. It was months after that.
All right, but I feel like it could have been prevented if we would have realized that, all right, that might not have, it all stemmed from that moment?
No. It was that moment. I tried to, you know, like say, hey, I didn't, you know.
That's crazy. We're in the same family, and I have no idea who you're talking about.
Really?
I have absolutely no idea who you talking
That's
about.
crazy. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
that-
after. I'll tell you
is
after.
crazy.
But no,
I be
I
gone,
had
y'all.
this.
I stay out. That's why I ain't got no beef with nobody. She got all the beef.
I don't have a beef. I just feel like there were people who talked to me and really came to me and was like, yo, like, all right, we in it. You having this baby. You know, this is the plan. Or you might want to look out for this or whatever. There are things that have happened in our family where I feel like I was the target. I've always been the target. And it's fine. You can come for me all you want to. I think now I'm more outspoken and on how I feel. So I don't bottle it up. I say what I got to say and I'm done. I used to bottle it up a lot.
Right.
Now it's just like, all right, you come for me, here it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like it or not. My thing is, I have watched and talking to other people are now separating, like completely disowning their family. I ain't gonna lie, I've disowned some in mine. I don't talk to, don't want to be around, I have no desire, none. And the only reason why I say that is because toxicity just keeps growing and growing and growing, and I have no space in my life for that, right? So you do you. I have no the best thing that somebody ever told me was, or that I heard, was that I want you to eat, right? I want you to eat. I want you to be successful. I want you to do it. You can eat. You just can't eat at my table no more. And I feel that. Like, I genuinely live by that. It's fine. I don't have no ill will. I don't have no ill will towards you. You just can't be in my space because you kind of, you know what I mean? You bring that, just like you. You know, you like, oh, I want to keep it positive, blah, blah, blah. I don't have time for that.
That is for health reasons.
Right. So for me, I need my peace. I need my peace. So if that means that you have to walk away, I got to walk away. I don't wish anything bad on you. Yes, was the situation bad? Absolutely. After I calmed down, after years of, you know what I'm saying, processing everything, because I really think I should have handled things differently. Like, I should never have given that my energy, but I did, just knowing who I am. I was a hothead. I think I'm still a little bit of a hothead. But for me, I feel like I should, after processing it, it's just like, you know what? Why am I tripping? You don't feed me. You don't clothe me. You don't do nothing in my life has changed without them being there. Nothing. And I'm cool with that.
So, all right. So now we're going to therapy, y'all. So now, I guess after you've been through all of that, like for me, it has been, like I didn't want to get to the rage part because the rage part is dangerous for me. But so in therapist, she was like, but you have to let that happen. That is
right.
That's normal. For us to get angry. Anger is a normal feeling that we sometimes is good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what she felt like I was doing was I was not letting that happen. So if I walk down the street, somebody bump into me, and instead of me being angry and dealing with that in the moment, I was just like walking. I was just turning away.
I would deal with it in a moment, and that's me.
So then, because she told me, she was like, you can't just keep hiding from the anger. You have to address it. But you have to learn to control it. So I'm like, I don't think we want to do that, because if I don't control it, that's something totally different. She's like, well, we have to, because if you keep suppressing stuff, then you're going to get to the point where you can't suppress it no more. So what I'm saying is, now you looking back, or who you are today, can you like... No, I'm not saying... See what I'm saying?
Oh, sorry.
Like, can that... Like, for me now, I can be upset at something, and I can process it like that. Like, I know exactly where I am, where that is going to trigger, where that's going to take me, and what I need to do to not go there. Right. And it is... I'm talking about almost instant.
And I'm like that now that I have control.
But are you?
Yeah, I mean, if I feel like I need to say it, I'm going to say it. And I have...
But can you go through and be like, okay, if I say this right now, is it going to change anything? Is it going to help the situation? Is it going to make it... Like, can you look at the consequences down the line?
Now, if I've done it with you. Like, if me and you get into it about something... then I might be like, yo, Andrew, my bad. If I offended you, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intent. This is what I was trying to say. I'm not saying.
Excuse me.
What?
So, no, you can't.
Yeah, you can, but I can't control how you take it.
No, I just asked you, can you process?
I can process it. I don't
let me speak. Can you process? All right, I feel like this. I want to say this. This might mean that this might make this person feel like this. If you're going back,
but you don't think that way. People don't think that way. Like, if you want an honest conversation, people don't think that way. Like,
we can have an honest conversation.
But I'm saying I'm not.
But if we're in a space where we're having, okay, this is a safe space, we're gonna have an honest conversation right now, then yeah. But if I'm in public, I'm at a family reunion, I'm at a cookout, this might not be the time and the place for that.
Right, I get that. So I think about that. I do think about that.
But you go back and apologize after you said what you want.
No. I'm saying, like, if I'm talking to you on the phone and I say something, you just like, bro, like, for real, that's what you know what I'm saying? Then, yes, I might have to step back and process what I said because I didn't mean, that wasn't my intent, but I meant what I said. You understand what I'm saying?
So you need to work on how to say stuff.
Not all the time. It's just people take these, first of all, the world is so sensitive nowadays. It's ridiculous. Like, it is.
Brandy Banks, do you really want to say that the world is sensitive?
Yes, the world is sensitive.
You are one of the most sensitive people.
I am not that sensitive.
Come on, bro.
I am not that sensitive. I'm just not going to let you play me. I'm not going to let y'all just keep coming at me. Like,
first of all, who is y'all? I don't do nothing.
Okay, first of all these brothers that I have, including you, y'all say some real ratchet stuff to me. No, and no, it's not.
We make you tougher.
Exactly. See, but you think you're making me tougher. To me, it could be an insult. Exactly.
Oh, man.
Exactly. Your point. Well done.
Touche.
Right.
I ain't got no cookies, so I can't give you a cookie.
Whatever. I'm just saying, so in listening to people that I've spoken to over the past couple of months, like, there's a brawl going with cousins, there's a brawl going with sisters, there's, people aren't talking to each other. And I just feel like, for me, if the relationship is worth it, if it's like you guys fixing my relationship with you all was worth it to me. Like, that's something that I definitely needed to fix, right? These other people, not so much. Now, if it was somebody that's like close to us, that I am, God forbid, let's just say one of our faves, Tanya, something happens between me and her, I'm going to fix that immediately. If she says she's her, and there's times that she says some stuff and I'm just like, yo, I'm not hearing you. Like, we've talked about this before. I'm not doing it. Sealed the deal. It is done. But she is very optimistic, which drives me nuts sometimes, but I love her. It's like, that's who she is. And you have to love her for who she is. But if something were to ever go left with me and her, yes, I value that relationship. But if I've never really had valued the relationship in the beginning, if it's always been toxic, whether you my family or not, I tend to cut you off. I don't want no parts of it. I don't have to speak to you. We could be in the same room. I ain't gonna beef with you, but I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to be around you. I don't need to have any interactions with you. You understand what I'm saying? I think it does split the family a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So everybody feels a piece of that. Like, everybody can feel it.
But you don't care.
I care, but I don't care enough to put that toxicity back in my life. I just don't want to.
But it don't gotta be. It don't.
So how is it? How is it not? If that's who these people are,
you gotta be too adult. No, I don't think that everybody's just toxic. Like, if somebody's just downright toxic and they come out and they be like, "Oh, hey, I'm toxic."
If all your experiences with with that person, with those people, whatever, if every experience you had, you were a different person back then, though. But even from child to now, like, grow up. When did you grow up?
You were a different person back then.
Like I said,
you might be your expectation level. Honestly, you should lower your expectation level. That's what.
But first of all, another one. If you feel like I say it all the time. I just posted this on Facebook. When they show you who they are, believe them.
I understand that, but this today we are talking about family,
right? And if you're
not
my
talking
family,
about people on the street.
But if you're my family, you still yes. If I see who you are, now if you change and over the time I see you changing and you moving differently or whatever, then fine. Maybe we can have a conversation.
But how you gonna see that if you cut people off?
I mean, like I said, I could still be around you. I can be around you and just don't have no communication with you. Cause this is the thing. I'm happy with me, right? I can walk into a room and I can speak to everybody or everybody can hate me. I don't care. It don't bother me either way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So for me, because I have peace within myself, like I ain't do nothing wrong to you. I don't have no beef with you. Everything's good. If you want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. Now, there's certain people that I can't have a conversation with.
Right, so don't say that.
Because I feel like you have done things to me to hurt me. And if you are capable of trying to hurt me, then that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but you giving people power to do something that they shouldn't have the power to do. That's my opinion.
I'm talking about physically. You trying to physically hurt me? You think I'm going to be in your face tomorrow or 5 years from now? It ain't going to happen.
I'm totally lost. Okay. But no.
It ain't going to happen. If you out here and you know, cussing me out and calling me every name but the child of God, like, bruh, I'm not about to sit in your face for what?
Where have I been?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I have no clue.
I feel like somebody.
Because I feel like this has been like this for years.
You want to know why I don't know? Because it's
because you separate yourself and you are
from all of it.
Right.
Like somebody be like, "Did you hear about?" Nope, and I don't want to know about it. You be like, "What?"
Yeah, tell me the tea. Give me the tea.
Nah, I don't want to know.
No, but I'm just saying. I just feel like if the relationship is worth it to you, and tell me if I'm wrong. If the relationship is worth it to you, fix it. If it's not worth it to you, hey, no, ain't no loss in it. I want to see you eat, just not at my table.
All right, so if you never had a relationship, because like you said, since childhood, it's always been toxic, you don't know if the relationship is worth it or not. You don't know what that person has to offer you don't know what you could offer that person.
But if okay.
You could have learned something on this podcast that I gave you the knowledge, and you can help that person now.
No.
So look, you ain't optimistic. Where Tanya at?
I'm not. Oh my God.
We need Tanya.
I'm not. No, I'm optimistic. I am just a realist when it comes to you cross that line with me.
I feel like you can't. That sentence don't work. I'm an optimistic, but I'm a realist, and you can't cross that line. Optimistic person.
Well, I'm a realist. I can't. No. Okay. So if you don't come and have a conversation with me and say, "Hey, listen," you know, like, okay, hold on. Here it is. There were things that were done that I had to be accountable for, right? And I stood in my accountability, and I had to go, and I had to apologize, and I had to make things right or whatever. Well, that's not the same standard that other people are held to. And so for me, I just feel like, okay, we're not going to apologize. We're not going to say nothing. We just going to let this thing fester the way it is. Cool, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to let it fester. I just don't want no parts of you no more. Do your thing. I don't want no parts of you. So now, yeah, I look at you like somebody on the street. I look at you as though I don't know you. And that's how I genuinely feel. I don't know you.
No, you don't.
I promise you, I don't know you.
If you saw somebody in your family
I don't know
you
you.
Beefing with
Nope.
on the street, and somebody that you knew be like, had a gun in their head, you be like, nah, I don't know that man. You gonna let that happen? You gonna let that man pull that trigger? Don't even answer that question, because that'll be all bad. I shouldn't even ask that question.
Exactly. I'm not saying that I would in that instance, but any other instance, no, I don't know you.
Yeah, that instance, you would say something.
Yeah. I mean, but I would say something. If I knew the person, regardless, I would have said something, whether they be family or not. If I knew the person that had the gun, I would definitely say something. I just couldn't live with it. But I'm just saying, if any other, scenario, no, I don't know you. And I promise you, I don't know you.
Well,
And I think that protects.
I feel like you gotta let that out, man.
Let what out?
I don't know. You gotta release that something. I feel like
I think I've released.
That's gotta be a burden.
It's not a burden.
It could be unconscious. It's something.
It's not a burden.
It's doing something.
I feel better. I
think you do.
No, I know I do.
The fact that you wanted to have this conversation is something in there.
No, but I wanted to have the conversation because I've heard it so many times. And because of my example, I don't want others to have to go through what I went through.
So what we got 5 minutes. How can we help others? That's what we're here for.
Like I
How
said,
can we help others
that have
situations like that? You just telling people to cut people off.
No, I think if the relationship is worth fixing, if you genuinely have love for this person and you care about the relationship, fix it. No matter what it is, just fix it. You know what I'm saying? Try to come to some common ground and fix it and move on. There are times where I feel like you can't fix it, let it go. If it is bringing stress, drama, you know what I mean, toxicity, whatever, into your life.
Does that word exist? I feel like we've said it a lot.
I think it does.
I should look that up.
Toxicity.
We could be go ahead.
So anyway.
So you cut it off if it...
Cut it off. Because it's not healthy. You're not gaining anything. What is the point? This person ain't putting food in your mouth, clothes on your back, a roof over your head. Why do you care? And if all you do is want to tear me down, but you want to tear me, I don't care if you family. If all you do is want to tear me down, then now I know I need to distance myself from you.
Toxicity.
Toxicity
doesn't exist. Toxicity. We do our due diligence, guys. We do our due diligence.
We do.
Sometimes. I be lying sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I be lying. So, not lying. I just be ignorant. I don't know. I didn't go research stuff. I just heard it. But.
Like Fugazi. I heard that the other day.
Fugazi?
Fugazi. Forgazing. It's not a word. It's slang.
Are you trying to say you forgave somebody?
No, forgazing. Like, it's in songs.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's slang. But I know somebody who says this word like all the time. And I'll be like, is that really a word? And I researched it. It's actually slang. It's slang. It's not an actual word.
Well, when you put toxicity, that joint says it says, did you mean toxicity? Like it does. It's not nothing.
All right. Well, y'all know what we meant.
So, all right. So if you think it's worth it,
fix it. If you don't, let it go.
I think that's another slippery slope because you don't know. Sometimes you don't know that it's worth it. Like you don't know what that person is.
I mean, if it's meant to be, God will bring it back around. But if it's not,
but if you cut them off, you not
cut them off. Like what I'm saying is, I can still be in the same room with people that I don't care about, but I just don't talk. I don't want no parts of that.
So if God gonna bring it back around, you ain't gonna talk to the person.
Then they could have a conversation with me. Maybe they could come and have a conversation. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna be the one who.
You're not gonna initiate a conversation
at all. I don't feel the need I have to. You did all of this to me, and I'm supposed to have a conversation with you? No.
Are you being honest that everything was done to you? Nothing was done.
No, I stood in my accountability when I did what I did. Period. I went back. I went and apologized.
So is it possible? Okay, you could have apologized, but is it possible that thing or whatever happened, that event, that situation, hurt that person so deep that it changed how they looked at you? And they're not able to surpass that and be the bigger person.
But I was cool with that until now you put some more smoke on top of it, and now we gotta, you know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. If I can't stop the way you feel. I can't just because I apologize, right? For me, it was like, okay, let me apologize. Let me get this, you know what I'm saying? How God says, give it to me and then let it go. So I put it all out on the table. I stood in my accountability. I took the shame. I did all of that. You know what I mean? Now, I'm done with that now. If you want to keep talking about 20-some years ago, I'm done with that. Let's talk about now. And if you can't talk about nothing now, we won't have nothing to talk about. You understand what I'm saying? I gave you a moment. I gave you the moment to say whatever it is that you needed to say. Come back with whatever it was. We're talking 20-some years later, and we're still talking. I'm not doing it. I'm not entertaining it. That was somebody who I was a long time ago. No longer am I her now. I have apologized, I have corrected, I have moved on, and I have grown from it. If you want to keep taking me back there, that's on you. Go by yourself, because I don't want to.
I can't even argue with you. The only argument I got, because I do the same thing. I don't even, like, you bring me stuff all the time. You heard about, bruh, I ain't heard nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. Don't tell me nothing. But the only argument I have is the only soft spot that I have is the fact that it's family, and I'm big on, I'm big on family. I might not be around all the time just because of who I have become today. I've become somebody who is alone all the time. I do my own thing, you know what I'm saying?
But didn't you have a good time, like when we went on the family cruise for New Year's this year?
I had to take my time. Like, I had to take some time to myself.
And you can do that.
I had to analyze the situation and realize, okay, this ain't what I do. Like, after 2 days, I'm like, I am out of my element. So I had to take a step back and realize what was happening, what I had to do to survive the 7 days. And when I use the word survive, I'm not saying that it was terrible, but
you didn't have a good time?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I go places and have a blast, and I do it for 3 or 4 days, and then I'm on to something else. I was stuck on a boat.
A ship.
My bad, Aunt Gina. I was stuck on a ship for 7 days. Like, yeah, I got off.
With your family. And a lot of entertainment and a lot of drinks.
We ain't gonna talk about the drink, all right? Because, I got one over on me on that one, man.
How?
We're not talking about that. So what I'm saying is, I had a good time, but I had a good time. Why? Because I have realized who I am, who I've become, who I was, and I needed to put things, when I say boxes, y'all, when I say my boxes, I mean my expectations or whatever. So I knew I wasn't getting off that ship. I knew I wasn't going nowhere. I knew I was kind of out of my element. And instead of me being, a jerk or whatever and being, man, I don't want to be here no more, I had to have a good time. So I had to realize what I needed to do. I needed to make sure when I needed my alone time, I took my alone time. You know what I'm saying? When I had to do different stuff, I had to do different stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I had to do that so it could be a healthy environment when I was around people for long periods of time. It wasn't that I didn't like the people who was there. I like everybody that was there. But I can like everybody, and I can be around everybody that I do like for more than a certain amount of time, and I won't like nobody.
But I mean, I get that. I mean, even with me on the ship, like I would, that. I would go take a nap or go to my room or whatever, and it's not that. It's just you need just a minute. Like I need a minute. She go to her room,
but she got the drink package that I'm supposed to be using. So yeah, that's what we.
Hey, all of us had a drink package, buddy.
Everybody was using it except her, and I ain't had one.
I was sick. I was seasick.
So yeah, but anyway, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like you got to be able to analyze. But I'm big on
family. I'm very big on family. I'm very big on. I mean, even with my kids, although I'm not with their dads, it's like I still make a conscious effort for them to be around their nephew, their cousins, or whatever, because that's how we grew up. You know what I'm saying? Our first friends was us, but then it was our cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I went to school with cousins.
I ain't never go to school with no cousins.
Yeah, I went to school with cousins. A few of them, actually, all at the same time. But I went to school with them. I was around them all the time. So what I'm saying is, I think as I got older, I got to a place where, as in the Bible, I no longer play with childish things, and I grew up, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't want to keep going back there. But the question I get all the time is, how can you be cool with not being cool? It's okay. I'm cool with not being cool.
So, I would say for us to try to close out for the first time, it's okay to be, because it's not going to work. It's okay to be, if you realize that it's not going nowhere and it's unhealthy, I would say yes. You should distance yourself from that situation.
Right. And it's okay to put your mental health on your peace.
Yes, but I do not think it's okay to be one and done. Like, oh yeah.
No, I don't. I
feel like you need to try.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you didn't.
No, I'm saying I think that you need to try. I don't think it should be a one and done. I don't think that it should be people that come in between your situation. I think it needs to be a personal a personal thing that happened to you between that person. And if y'all can't talk it out, I mean, and you can talk it out. Sometimes you can. I don't want to talk in that moment, but eventually, yeah, let's talk it out. You know what I'm saying?
So did you talk it out? You said it's been 20 years.
I said I was accountable. I said my piece.
You didn't talk it out.
I did talk it out. I called. I personally called.
Did they answer the phone?
Yes.
Oh.
There was no response back except for, okay, I appreciate that. There was none of the drama that I face now 20-some years later. So for me, it's like, okay, listen, been there, done that. I'm not redoing that again. I'm just not. So if that's where you are, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to leave you where you are. Because I got too much else going on. I gotta focus.
I got no arguments.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna say more to like take your time. Take your time if it's family, especially if it's family. If it's people, just random people on the street, girlfriends, boyfriends, man.
I don't understand why people say family. Family will hurt you worse than the people on the street.
I agree, but at the same time, you only get one.
I mean, I get that.
So yeah, you know, all I say is take your time. Make sure
when you do cut them off, there is no.
Yeah.
You've done everything that you can before you actually cut them off, and I can say that
because if you cut family off, you're not just affecting you and that person. You are affecting
the entire family.
Yeah,
the entire. I can honestly say that.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Was that?
See, that wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't. But hey, people keep asking me why you always wearing plain shirts. You ain't got no clothes. Hey, man. If y'all want to put your brand here, hey, man, shoot us an email, bro. You can put your clothes on here, put your drinks on here, put your brand on here, do whatever y'all want, man. Just shoot us an email. It's all it is what it is. But is that another one? That's another one. Take y'all time, man, before y'all cut family. You ain't got all right, yeah. You can cut family. I'll just take your time.
Take your time. Make sure you do everything. Put all effort in. And then once all those efforts are exhausted, let it go. If it's affecting your health, let it go. It's not worth it.
All right, man. Y'all heard it. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share with your friends. All right, man. We out, man. Till next time.
Bye, guys.